Blue Lock characters vary in terms of skill, playstyle, weapons, and overall usage on the pitch. But what if these players were given Jujutsu Sorcerer grades? Where would each player rank? You guys really enjoyed the last video, so I'm back with a part 2. Speaking of, go check out part 1 as I cover a lot of the main cast of characters, and I would love to hear your thoughts on the grades that I gave each of the characters. Now, I'm writing this video before the PXG vs Bastard match, so if more skills get revealed that improve the rankings of the players that I mentioned in today's video, then I apologize, but the rankings that I'm giving these characters are based off of the characters' feats in the current chapters, with the latest being chapter 224. Before I get into the video though, major spoilers for the Blue Lock manga and minor spoilers for the Jujutsu Kaisen manga, so if you're not caught up to the Blue Lock or Jujutsu Kaisen manga and wish to not be spoiled, click off this video right now. Now, I first believe that I should identify each of the grade rankings and explain the requirements to fit into each grade, so once I label a character, I can explain why they fit there. Now, I could go over the 3.5 minutes of explanation like I did last time, but I'd rather just save time in the video for, video, so I'm going to just summarize it. Basically, in Jujutsu Kaisen, there are 8 different sorcerer grades. There is grade 4, grade 3, semi-grade 2, grade 2, semi-grade 1, grade 1, special grade 1, and special grade. Now, I want you to think of the normal progression of the players in Blue Lock, but have the lowest be grade 4 and the highest be grade 1. The reason for this is due to the special grade and special grade 1 ranking not technically being a grade that can be given to a sorcerer due to the standard promotion, but that person has to have some special requirements about them in order to achieve such a ranking. So for this video and this classification, I'm marking world-class players like Noah Noah and Chris Prince as special grade, and having special grade 1 players have to have some unique requirement about them to fit into that category. So I won't traditionally give either of those titles to a player without a good reason. So again, in terms of a player's progression, grade 4 is basically the skill level a normal Japan soccer player would be at, and grade 1 is probably the best that Blue Lock can produce, with special grade 1 being a unique grade for a character that has met a specific requirement, as special grade 1 and grade 1 are essentially the same, only one just has specific qualifications. Oh, and I also ranked the grades on a scale of 1 to 10 just for more specification, with a 1 on the scale being just achieved that new ranking, and 10 being ready for the promotion to the next one. Now, I hope that explains itself as I did a lot of yapping, so if you don't fully understand, I would suggest just watching the video and you will understand because it basically explains itself. Alright, into the video. Now, I think it's fair we start with the last of the Egoist 4 that I left out from the last video, being Rensuke Kunigami, who I would personally rank as a semi-first grade player. Kunigami is the lone survivor of the wild card, who after training has achieved one of the most impressive physiques in the entire series. His debut match in Barsha, scoring 2 goals, 1 alone and 1 assisted, followed up by his jumping volley in the Manshan City match, just goes to show that his physical specs have all skyrocketed, giving him probably the best overall physical specs in Blue Lock. He was able to body shield 2 players while maintaining possession of the ball and also fire a shot towards the net without losing power, and can do so from either foot. The only problem that I see with Kunigami is that his shooting skills and physique is all that he really has as a player, which isn't bad given his player archetype of the clinical finisher, but when you compare him to another clinical finisher being Kaiser, you can really see the difference in their overall usefulness. Now, I understand that Kaiser is a new Gen 11 player, but he also possesses Metavision and Predator Eye, has superior positioning and ball control, as well as an even better shooting technique than the #1 player in the world. You could also compare him to Isagi, whose skills are all relatively similar when looking overall as a player, but I do think that Kunigami is slightly lacking. And yet, I don't think I could truly rank him lower than semi-grade 1 due to his clear feats and unique circumstances in the series. On the 1 to 10 scale that I previously mentioned, I would have to say that he sits at about an 8, the same ranking that I placed Isagi on in the first video. Next up is Shido Ryusei, who I would personally rank as a grade 1 player. While Shido's skills haven't appeared to have improved since he was first introduced in the series, aside from unlocking flow state, he is still an incredibly impressive player with the skills to support his ranking. Shido is a character who basically embodies the mindset of don't think, just play, which I'd even argue embodies it better than Bachira, a player whose entire character derives his playstyle on creativity and intuition. Shido's extreme spatial awareness allows for him to be aware of his location and others within the penalty box. His flexibility allows for him to shoot from anywhere and score, and his overall strength not only surpasses that of Kunigami pre-wildcard, but also allows for all of his shots to have crazy power on them. He was also the first player to unlock his flow state during the U20 match, which vastly improved his spatial awareness and overall strength. But simply looking at the basic feats in the story, aside from Itoshi Lin, who by the way ranked #1 in every single Blue Lock category to date, Shido was the only other person to score on the World 5, and he was also selected by Itoshi Sae to play with him, as his skills were something of value to a new Gen 11 player. Given all of that information, I do believe that he strongly ranks as a grade 1 player, and on that 1 to 10 scale, I would place him around a 5.5 out of 10. Next up is Mikage Reo, who I would also rank as a grade 1 player. Reo to me is a very difficult player to rank, as I believe him to be insanely useful. However, I feel like it's wrong to place him equal to or higher than a player like Chigiri or Burū. Reo is a very special case, however. He is almost essential in any game that he plays in, with him being very important on Team V and in the second selection being the anchor for his teammates. In the U20 match, being used as the only player who can stop Shido, and with his new chameleon style, can copy Itoshi Sae and Itoshi Rin to become an insanely qualified and versatile midfielder. Now, if you saw my last part to this series, you saw that I ranked Nagi as a grade 2, so why am I placing Reo above Nagi when Nagi overall has more talent? Well, Reo's versatility and ability to perform several roles on a team aside from a goal scorer is incredibly useful, but another reason is due to him being the deciding factor that allows Nagi to reach his flow state. See, Reo and Nagi together create a symbiotic flow state, if you will, with Nagi only ever being able to reach flow if Reo is fully supporting him. And we see this when they're matched up against Bayern München, where Nagi's eyes have the flow effect in them, with Reo's eyes having them as well. Given these factors, his current feats in the manga combined with his chameleon style, which is probably one of the best weapons to have, are all reasons that I rank him as a grade 1 player. Now on that 1 to 10 scale, I would rank him as a 2 out of 10. The same ranking that I gave Bachira in the last part. Next up is Hiori Yo, who I would personally rank as a grade 2 player. Hiori is a very technical player, whose careful and delicate plays with his left leg allow for anyone he pairs up with to create phenomenal plays. In terms of usefulness as a player, I honestly rank him the same as Corona, except I would put Hiori a little bit higher. His and Isagi's Metavision chemical reaction allowed for Isagi to surpass the plays of Uber's backline as well as Kaiser, allowing for Isagi to score. Corona lacks in Metavision what he makes up for in overall physical specs, and Hiori to me has almost the same level of physical specs, but his application of Metavision just places him above Corona. However, with the little game time that he has with his awakened ego, I can't confidently place him any higher than grade 2. But when talking about the 1 to 10 scale, I would say that he sits at about a 6, being ranked 2 pegs higher than Corona due to Metavision. Next up is Oliver Aiku, who I rank as a semi-first grade player. Aiku is undoubtedly the best defender in the entire Blue Lock series. With access to Metavision, flow state, and a physique that allows him to easily stuff players like Rin in the head-on assault, he is by far a useful player. He was also the biggest threat during the U20 match, with every Blue Lock player needing to take him out of the equation in order to even have an opportunity to score. He was most recently able to stop Isagi's push in the Ubers match after shutting down his new weapon after seeing it only a single time. His analysis skills and physique, combined with Metavision, makes him a huge threat on the pitch. Along with him being the best defender in the series, I think it's fair to rank him as a semi-first grade player. However, on that 1 to 10 scale, I do believe that he sits at about a 7. And the last character for the video is Itoshi Sae, who obviously I will be placing in special grade 1. Itoshi Sae is labeled as a new Gen 11 player, and who, without trying, was able to completely obliterate the Blue Lock 11, being the first player to score within 10 minutes of the match. We've yet to see him fully go all out, as his only appearance of actually trying was against Rin, which was only for a few panels in the manga. His title of New Gen 11 gives him the perfect qualification to be placed in special grade 1. But not even looking at his title, his counter dribble technique, as well as his precise and unique passes, allow for any striker who receives them to have a wide array of shooting options. He was also the only person to ever perform a chemical reaction with Shido, who even Ego said was untamable. He was able to easily dribble past Isagi, Nagi, and Burū with zero issue, which further solidifies this ranking. On that 1 to 10 scale, however, I rank him at a 7 on the special grade scale, placing him above Kaiser due to his playmaking abilities, not just for himself, but for the entire team that he plays on. But that is everyone that I will be covering for this video. I really enjoy making these kinds of videos, so I hope you guys enjoy watching them as well. Also, for the question of the video, who is your favorite new Gen 11 player? Tell me your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching, like and subscribe for more content just like this.